Today's podcast is a companion to episode number 208 of Life in Bloom, all about lavender. And it includes baby goats. I'll introduce you to my friend Katie Kuipers from Leche and Lavender, and we'll learn to milk a goat and make goat's milk soap with lavender. A lavender cheesecake and a lavender lemon Collins are on the menu. And I'll share a traditional French craft, making a lavender bottle sachet. It's all about lavender today on Behind the Bloom. Lavender has indeed become an essential herb for helping us de-stress and relax. It can help us sleep, aid in concentration, and even spark up a recipe or a beverage. Lavender is a life changer, and we can include it in our lives as a fresh-cut herb and flower, a growing plant inside or outside in the garden, even as a dried flower. Lavender brings the flower power. Look to your local flower and plant seller and bring home some lavender tonight. Cowflowers is a proud sponsor of Life in Bloom on public television and Behind the Bloom podcast, where flowers and wellness go hand in hand.
Hey, Jay, are you ready to talk about lavender?
I am. We'll relax and be zen-like.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Lavender has that. In previous podcasts, we talked about rosemary. Lavender has so many wonderful properties. That's why we did this show about it.
Oh, yeah.
Was because it has so many miraculous tendencies. It's antimicrobial. It's antibacterial. It causes us to relax. It can engage us in sleep. What more do we? It's fragrant.
Yeah.
It's purple. It's a lovely color. There's just so much stuff, and it was just really fun. And we had met Katie Kuipers, who owns Leche and Lavender, and her soaps, and her kids are precious. We had met them at the farmer's market, so then that kind of dovetailed into creating this experience.
Okay.
We will start with our tip, which involves relaxation. So number 71 from Bloom 365, relax. Lavender helps create relaxation. Rubbing the fragrant stems and smelling the oil provides relief from stress. A sachet of dried lavender is a great go-to at your desk on a hectic day. All of those things are true. So, I'll even notice, one of Kelly's favorites is lavender. And so when he's in the garden, I'll notice he's always rubbing the leaves and smelling it, and it does reduce stress. That's a huge impact for it. It's really, really a wonderful product. I thought it was great to kind of start at the beginning and go to the Leche and Lavender farm. Cause I was like, well, she was like, we make our soap out of goat's milk. And I was like, well, where do you get the goat's milk? Well, we have goats. You have goats. You milk them. I milk them every day. Whoa, shut up. So we had to go to their place. That red barn is where they are.
Okay.
And so we went to see them, and all of her goats have people.
Yeah. I loved Phyllis was the
right. And so it's just so funny that they all, and I have a note here. Let's say I got to find it because here it is. Jim and Kathy were the baby goats. The baby goats in this show are Jim and Kathy. What in the world?
I think in the credits, Jay, you had thanked the goats and it listed all these people's names. It was thanks to the goats, Phyllis, Jim, Kathy. I thought that cracked me up.
They're so funny.
Yeah.
They were so sweet. Phyllis doesn't care that you're milking her as long as she has food.
Right.
And Kathy Kuipers is just such a sweet lady. She's so kind, and the kids are wonderful. And we used to see them frequently at the farmer's market, but they don't come anymore because they use something else. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. She said that, okay, I know whenever this show is on, because whenever this show is on, I have hundreds of dollars of orders.
Oh, wow.
From people who order their stuff.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome. You have that much of an impact on them.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm calling her Kathy. Her name's Katie.
Oh, Katie.
Katie Kuipers. Katie Kuipers, confusion in my mind. Kathy Kuipers is the lady who bred Georgie.
Oh, okay.
Kathy and David Kuipers from Kuipers Cockers is where Georgie came from.
Oh, okay.
Katie Kuipers runs Leche and Lavender and is no relation to Kathy and David. Just in case
Same
you were
last
all
name.
wondering.
Okay.
Right. I just love that whole point in this show where she talks about how important holistic and treating the animals with love and respect. That's why their soap is so great.
Oh, yeah.
Is because there's kindness and love instilled in it the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't a factory.
Right.
It's not a factory thing. It's handmade, and it's made with love, and it's made with care. and those little goats screaming.
They were so adorable. It was like the whole segment, you guys were talking, and you could just hear them in the background. I loved it.
And that was a real test for the guys, because the guys don't like that.
Oh, okay.
The sound people do not like that. They don't want any of that, and sometimes I wonder, and I think to myself, does it matter? You will notice that they don't like it when an airplane goes over. They don't like, I get that. But then if we're going to see, they don't like my fountain running in the garden when we're doing that. And they said, because we need to see it. But then when we can see it, they still don't like it running.
Oh, okay.
I think because it makes it harder to... And see, this is where Sam would come in, our editor. She has the ability to control both you and I.
Right.
And so she can eliminate my soundtrack if I'm talking over the top of you or vice versa. When there's those noises in the background, you can't eliminate them.
Right.
So it makes it harder to do so. But I just thought part of the charm of that was the little
you needed that. I feel like
because they were hungry.
Right.
They were hungry. And then she was like, it's going to be fast. It's going to be really, really, really fast. And they were over and they were like, and then they were done.
They were totally
and
quiet.
Then they were quiet. Yeah. God, we just wanted to drink. We wanted to drink from Mom. That's all we wanted. And I just think that that's adorable. And the goats were just so... I've been around goats who want to chew on you or want to stand on you or want to breed with you or butt you or whatever, These goats are not like that. These goats were just precious. And the kids took care of them and stuff, and it was really great. And then I loved her showing us the process. And I think that it was very interesting, too, because her Lavender is organic. She controls the nutritional values of her goats. She does have to use lye. And when you use lye to make soap, it causes a chemical reaction, but then the lye disappears. So it's no longer there. And I know that there are people who worry about the lye being in your soap, but according to Katie, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
And it was there for the function of making the chemical reaction to make the soap.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it seems like it was safe. And I mean,
I'm not going to go down that road.
Yeah.
But I get it, and I know that Miss Margot makes soap too, and she uses goat's milk that she purchases, but hers are all made with her Native American homegrown herbs.
Okay.
So that's her take on soap. We've had soap people on a couple times, and it's just very interesting. But I liked seeing how she has to let it set, and then she'll carve it up later, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think it's just really, really interesting.
How cool that every step throughout the process, everything from the goat's milk that went into it, it's this is all just from things that are made there. And I mean, it was really, really cool to see that process from start to finish.
And this was season 2. So it was it was us discovering that. And I was like, can you make soap in front of us? And she was like, sure. And I was like, okay. And that influenced a lot of things going forward.
Oh, okay.
Because we were able to say, when we went to Sacred Springs, can you show us how you make the kombucha? Yes. And we ask that a lot because I want to see how something's done.
Right.
And that's the interesting part. That really is the interesting part, too. You have a soap making connection.
Yeah. So one of my college roommate and one of my good friends started a soap making company. And I'm not going to say the name, but because you can buy it in Walmart, Walgreens. It's this big thing, but it's one of the big men's natural soap companies that's out there. I'm sure if I told it to everyone there, they'd recognize it. But it's funny because it was all natural, pine tar and bourbon barrel and all these manly, and he never had a lavender soap. And I guess I don't know if it wasn't part of his demographic, but I totally wish that he had a lavender, and I feel like I want to bring it up to him now and tell him that he should make a lavender one.
He should. He should, because as you've described this, I know who it is.
Okay.
And I use that. We have a subscription.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And their soap is fantastic. Yeah.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
Can you choose the texture of the soap to have it be more?
I believe so. Yeah.
There are some of them that have more
grittiness to it.
Yes. So that you can exfoliate differently with them.
Yeah.
And they also make soaps, and they make shampoo, and they make conditioner.
Yes,
don't
yeah.
Yes. That was your roommate?
Yes, yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Okay.
Yeah, but I
Amazing.
remember when my friend was, coming up with all these ideas for all these different soaps
Yeah.
and the different scents, and I would go over to his house and he had like the scent lab and he had all these different oils and would mix them together and would smell them and we'd try to help him like brainstorm to come up with stuff. And I remember
Right.
one time he's very frank about the way he, like this is his business. And I
Uh-huh.
remember coming up with like a couple different ideas and like he smelled them and it was me and my other friend and we're like, "What do you think of these?" And my friend looked at us and said, "Honestly, none of these will ever get made into soaps." And he just bashed our ideas. We were like so excited, and then we were like, "Aw, womp womp."
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Oh, lavender would be a
Yeah,
great one.
yeah,
There's so much relaxation.
yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
is. It's
yeah.
amazing. The lavender
Mhm.
fields on Washington Island in Door County,
Yeah.
that's in Michigan.
Wisconsin,
Whoa,
right? Yeah,
Wisconsin.
yeah.
Oh,
So so
okay.
so Door
Okay.
County, Wisconsin, so there's this island off of Door
Door
County.
County, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, called Washington.
There's also Door County in
Oh, there
Michigan.
is? Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. So there's this like peninsula off of Wisconsin and there's a island called Washington Island and you have to take a ferry to get there. And so it's like maybe an hour-long ferry ride and it's in the middle of this big, I think it's Lake Michigan, but there's a lavender farm on this island. And so it's this really, really cool. You take this hour-long ferry, you can take your car there and drive around, but it's this island that, there's no hospitals, there's no, it's like you have to go
Wow.
back to the
Okay.
mainland if you
Sure.
need anything. There's maybe
Uh-huh.
like a little grocery store and that's kind of it. But there's this amazing lavender farm out there. And so I don't know, it's really
Wow.
fun because you're kind of on this island in the middle of nowhere. And then you pull up and there's this beautiful lavender farm and you can smell it as you're driving up. It's really, really cool.
Many, many years ago when I did a benefit performance on Maui, and there was a lavender farm called it's still there, Ali'i Lavender Farm. ALI-I, Ali'i. And Ali'i was alive at that point in time. When we went there, he welcomed Kelly and I to his home, and he let us use his home as the green room when we were there, and he was so kind to us. People will plant lavender to see where they can grow protea.
Oh, okay.
If lavender can grow there, then protea can. So that's usually a test crop. So Ali went to Maui and he thought, I'm going to start a protea farm. And it's up on top of this hill. It's magnificent. It's absolutely incredible. He started to do these lavender samples up there and realized that nobody in Hawaii had lavender. Lots of people grow protea. So he grew like 60 or 70 different types of lavender. I'll put a link in the comments. Kelly filmed me doing my presentation there with like a little handy cam, right? They served us lavender scones with lilikoi jelly, and all of these things were made from the lavender on the farm. That is where I discovered the lavender rub that I put on the pork loin in a couple shows back, right? Okay. There was that lavender rub that you could put on it. And we love lavender on our pork just for that purpose. It was really special. There are all of these Michigan lavender farms now. We just found a new one too that we're probably going to try and include in an upcoming season. Young couple that is running it does all these wonderful things. So I think, lavender's a big deal. And the relaxation portion of it is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, lavender cheesecake.
Yes. I love whenever you work in the overhead camera angle, it feels like so much fun and it's kind of like the step by step. It feels like a cooking show and you're kind of jumping around.
That was what when we built the scaffolding. When you were sitting here having dinner or lunch with us the one time, there was scaffolding that goes across the top of the kitchen so that we can do it, so that we can hang a camera from up there. And we use one now in Kathy's kitchen all the time. We've always incorporated that fourth camera now because it's really functional. An overhead camera's the deal. It really is. Okay, so ask me a random question because this is a great question and I've got stories.
Yes. So on PBS and on your show, can you show any brand names?
We're not supposed to.
So I noticed we saw a little bit of the KitchenAid. And I've worked on commercials before where we've used the KitchenAid and we had to Greek it out, they call it, where we cover up the logo. And so I was just curious what the policies are. And you talked about on an earlier episode about the Nike swoosh.
So yes, they hate it when we use things like that. And so they want us to turn things around. When we were reusing things from UBloom, when we were reusing videos to help create projects when we didn't have a very big budget as a cost-saving measure, we would have to blur them out. It's also expensive to blur them out, and it's really expensive to blur out something that's moving.
Right.
So like if somebody has a hat on or if somebody has a shirt on, or if it's something that's going to move, or you're going to pick up a can and move it around with your hand, it's really expensive to do that. They don't like us to do it. Now, I just got a letter the other day from somebody who was trying to accuse me of being cancel culture because I was blurring out the names of things on the show. And I get it, and a fair enough assessment, but it is not controlled by us. And here's the reason behind this. And this is why public education television is the most trusted network on television, according to viewers. That's a viewer survey that's always done, and it's always correct. And it's by an immense value. It's like 80% of the people trust PBS, where 15% of the people trust something else, okay? We are not to be commercial. We are only to be educational. When something is used and could be perceived as being promotional, the FCC steps in, Federal Communications Commission, and makes us blur those items.
Okay.
What we have found recently is like a KitchenAid mixer is pretty much a standard now for almost everybody who has a cooking show. The colored ones, and everybody knows they're a KitchenAid. If I were to say I love my KitchenAid mixer, they would take that out.
Oh.
They would make me take that out. Just this season right now, I was using a microplane. Okay, now I did not know this, but I was using a microplane, and I said, I love a microplane. We had to go back and forth with the FCC to see if we could leave that statement in the show because it sounded like I was promoting a microplane, and I did not know that the microplane I own is called the microplane Circle R.
Oh, okay.
It's called the microplane. So that was where the discussion came from. And because I said I love a microplane, they let me leave it in.
Oh, interesting.
But if I would have said I love the microplane, it would have been considered an endorsement for that product.
Okay.
And like you'll notice, I have a bullet that we'll use sometimes to grind stuff up on the show. We've taped it.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed whenever you have the flower cocktail hour, you
Correct.
cover up the labels on the bottles.
Cointreau is my favorite orange liqueur. I love it. Comes in the square bottle. Everybody knows Cointreau comes in the square bottle. We have to turn the label away, and I have to say you can add an orange liqueur.
Okay.
They prefer, which is why I have a huge collection of containers and carafes now. They prefer I put it in something else.
Oh, okay.
If it has a readily viewable container shape that someone would, like a Heinz ketchup bottle.
Oh, right.
They would prefer I put my ketchup in something else. And add my ketchup.
Okay.
There are rules and regulations that follow that and guidelines. You can also get fined for promoting something you shouldn't.
Oh.
So if it gets passed. And so that's why we also use a service that works closely with the FCC and closely with the American Public Television guidelines so that they can say, this is a problem. And so what happens with our show when our show is completed, Chris edits it. Kelly and I review it. We make any changes that we think are necessary. We're now aware of those changes, so we're pulling stuff at that point in time. Then we send it to American Public Television. They have 2 people who review it, and they call stuff out. Then they send it to the FCC. They review it, and they call stuff out, and then we do the final edit.
Wow.
So there's at least 5 to 6 eyes that look at it. And then finally, after they've cleared it and everything, then it goes to another company that makes the broadcast thing, and they can call something out sometimes and say, hey, we saw this, and we wonder if this is a problem. There is that huge process. And so we are very conscientious about it, and it's very, very important. But it also can cause different interesting challenges. When I was at the new San Francisco Flower Market filming last year, which you're going to see in season 8 that's coming up now, I kept talking about how clean, beautiful, well-lit the new San Francisco Flower Market is. And they argued with me that I was being promotional about it. What happened with it is that the new San Francisco Flower Market is a public building, so it has to be open to the general public for a certain amount of time every week. And the public has to have access to it because it's a public building. The old one was not that way. The old one was also horrible. I mean, there were rats. It was right next to a really bad part of town. They would have people sleeping in the doorways. They would find fecal matter. They would find syringes. It was a scary, scary, scary place. The new place is not like that. And people would not go to the old flower market because it was in that location. So now the new location, they will go to, and they should be encouraged to go to. And it's very safe, and there's parking and security guards, and it's fabulous. And they were like, it's like you're selling it. And I said, I am. I am selling it because you don't realize how bad it was.
Right.
And so I had to tell that story to both American Public Television and also to the FCC, and they were like, okay, we'll let you say that. And we weigh out, is this a sword worth dying on?
Oh, right.
Or is there a sword worth falling on? Or, a hill worth dying on? My friends at Little Plumeria Farm, he wore a hat that said Shore on it. And I didn't know that Shore is a brand.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was so nondescript that I didn't know. I guess people in Hawaii know. They were like, yeah, you should have put black tape on it. But I didn't, and we're okay with it. And because it is so nondescript, he's moving around, so we didn't blur it. Because sometimes they will also decide, they'll tell me, please don't do that again. We're not going to have you blur it because it will be more distracting.
Oh, yeah, like
or cause more
draws attention to it. Okay.
Yeah. It's always about making sure that you turn stuff away and that you are being conscientious. And that's part of being an independent producer for public television.
Okay.
So, yeah. When it comes to flowers and increased vase life, I choose Kreisel Flower Food and have enjoyed the benefits for years, professionally and personally. My favorite product is Kreisel Professional 3. This formula feeds the flowers and helps control growth of bacteria in the vase. If you want to try Kreisel Flower Food products, visit their website, kreiselflowerfood.com. Look for the link in the podcast description. Use our special discount code UBLOOM10. That's the letter U, Bloom, 10, for 10% off your purchase. Support the joy of flowers. The Life in Bloom Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to flower education and inspiring a love of flowers in everyone. The foundation helps fund the production of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom on public television, making it possible for viewers across the country to enjoy the beauty and benefits of flowers. The foundation also provides free flower education to high schools, colleges, and floriculture programs through ubloom.com, helping students and future florists bloom in their own careers. Your donation in any amount makes a difference. Plus, all contributions are 100% tax deductible. If you'd like to help us continue sharing the power of flowers, visit the lifeinbloomfoundation.org to donate today. Thank you for your support. I thought the cheesecake was pretty purple.
That purple was great.
I need to now make a Basque cheesecake because I home make those now with all organic materials and make it lavender because I think it would be really pretty.
Yeah.
But a Basque cheesecake is so lovely. So there's going to be a Basque cheesecake in season 9.
Okay.
So, Flower Cocktail Hour with Lavender Collins. Any Collins is your favorite.
I love a Collins. Yeah.
Kelly loves a Collins too. So that's good. Yeah.
Only in the summer though. I feel like in the summer I switch over and we drink. I mean, I shouldn't say only, but I feel like that's the time for a Collins. Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. They look great in a tall glass.
Yeah.
They look great in a highball glass. A Collins is always great to put in a highball glass.
Yeah.
And we have so many glasses.
Oh, yeah.
We have now gone to the point where we just keep 2 because 2 is what we need for the show. But sometimes I don't. Like when we went to Palm Springs, oh my God, I could have bought 700 different. I don't need 8 glasses.
Oh, right.
And
2.
So, yeah. And no one will let you do that. So the lavender bottle.
Yeah, that was so cool. I really like that.
I love that crap.
Yeah. Why is it called a bottle?
Because it looks like a bottle.
That's what I thought. And then I was
how
like,
it's kind of fat at the bottom and then it's tight at the top.
Okay.
And it is a French craft. And so it's like something that French kids learn as kids, how to make a lavender bottle. And then you tuck it in your drawer. Now, it is a little messy because it's the blooms are going to fall off and stuff.
But I'm sure it smells so good.
But it smells so good. It seems very French to me.
Right.
People would tuck them inside sweaters because they will also prevent moths.
Yeah, that's what I didn't realize. You talked about how it's a moth repellent.
That's also important.
Yeah.
So, if you tuck them inside a sweater. And so because we made the lavender bottle, then I wanted to show the little bags.
Yeah.
You can buy them at flower shops. You can buy them all over. You can buy them online, whatever. But I do sew them shut if they're going to go in the laundry.
Okay. Because, yeah, you talked about all the different places that you put them around the house, and I thought that was so cool. I loved putting it in the dryer.
And that's the important place to sow it, Shep.
Okay.
Because if it's not, then you're going to have those dryer things. I think that would be unhealthy for your dryer, for dried combustible material to be inside your dryer.
Yeah.
You know, in a little bag, it's fine, you know, but yeah. And I use them to meditate. I have them at my nightstand. I have them on my desk. It's moved off today because I have this up here, but you know, but sometimes when it's just like, when you get a viewer feedback that thinks you're doing cancel culture by blurring out the logos on your stuff, then you grab your bag of
helps you relax.
Okay, I'm gonna be better now.
Yeah.
It is part of the mint family, which is also a cool thing about it. Culinary and essential oils are important as well.
Yeah.
So.
I loved, you talked about that you'd put them in your luggage. So like when you get to your destination, you open it up and you get like, you can smell. I feel like that's such a nice, I don't know, after a stressful day of traveling, going, you know, you're at the airport to get to your destination, it's probably like such a sigh of relief. And then you open it up and you get your lavender wafting. I'm like,
It's really interesting too, because I notice that I don't notice it as much, but then when I'm away from it, or like when I bring my clothes out of my luggage and put them in a hotel room, I can smell it again.
Oh, yeah.
You can become used to it.
Oh, right.
Nose blind, as they call
you almost
it.
need the absence of it for a little bit to like appreciate it again.
I thought it was very funny that we had me sitting and meditating on the rock in the front of my yard. I would would not do that. But we were set up and it was all okay, and that worked out well.
Yeah.
I have a rock back here that I sit and meditate on.
Nice.
So I have a rock in the backyard.
Not in the front
yard.
yard.
That other rock is on the street. So it's like
cars are driving by.
Sit out and meditate in your front yard.
Yeah.
I think about what Mo talked about was, you know, if you could take it on a forest walk with you, or if you were forest bathing, as we've talked about in previous episodes, you could take that thing of that little lavender sachet and take it along with you, because squeezing it in that thing also activates it. So that's a really cool thing to do. One year for this episode, we gave those little sachets away to all the programmers.
Oh, cool.
At APT, so they could experience this de-stressing of lavender.
That's so nice too, because I bet everybody, it's something you would keep and have around, and it would alys, you'd have this memory of
the programmers always say, please don't make another mug. And I'm like, okay, I gotcha. It's a challenge to see what would be functional for people. We also do coasters, because then you can set something on a coaster.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun thing to do too. So yeah, we have different challenges. There's a grab bag for all the programmers who want to have something memorable in there that just reminds them about your show.
Yeah.
Then lavender, it is invasive in Australia. You are not allowed to plant or grow lavender in Australia.
I wonder. That's so.
Isn't that interesting?
And you talked about in Spain too. I think that it also.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I believe Portugal.
Okay.
I plant it every year. I wish I had 100 lavender plants. And it is not invasive in Michigan, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a place not too far from us, about an hour away, that is called the Lavender Maze. They have a maze of lavender that then leads to an herb garden in the center. It also has these stone structures. It reminds me of Stonehenge a little bit. There's kind of an inkling to that. But we wanted to go film there, and the year that we were going to go film there, they had really bad weather and they had a whole bunch of winter kill. And so the maze wasn't beautiful. And I noticed last year it was beautiful again. I saw some pictures of it, but it's a challenge because, you know, you've got big hedges that are probably 4 foot tall. And if you have winter kill in that really ruins your lavender maze. They also grow cherries there, and they have a little store where you can buy like cherry turners and
cool.
stuff like that, which I love. It's not invasive here, but in those areas it is. And so I think that's a big deal. And it thrives in full sun. I have full sun, but I think we're just a little too cloudy. I think it's also part of it. So being on the lakeshore, you probably get a lot more sun than we do.
I wonder if that's why it's invasive in like Australia and Spain. I think of these places as being so sunny and hot. Maybe it can spread like wildfire there or something.
And that's also what you need for protea. And what's interesting about protea too is that when protea grows somewhere, if you want to grow them by seeds, you have to let the seeds fall on the ground, and then you have to have a wildfire. Because it's the wildfire that causes them to grow again. So they have to be strategic about how, there's probably a term for it, but they do something to the seed to get that coating off, to get it to sprout, to make a plant. That's why people will try lavender there first, because if lavender will grow there, then protea will. We have probably 5 or 6 good bushes of it. But I'm thinking now too, because we're doing the transfer of our yard to just a wild. We're not going to do the lawn anymore, and so maybe some lavender out there because it's full sun. Out there. They'll probably love
that would be cool. Yeah.
So I need to throw some lavender plants in there. Lavender.
Yeah.
It was a great flower. We're filming this year. Hopefully everything goes well. We're going to film a show about lily of the valley, and it will be similar to this. And it's where the show all revolves around one flower type. And I really like it when we do a show like this because I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah. It's great.
All
awesome.
Right.
Well, thank
thanks,
you, RJ.
Jay.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week on Behind the Bloom podcast with Jay Schwanke and RJ Poole. If you loved what you heard, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And share it with a friend to help us spread the joy, one bloom at a time. Thank you for taking the time to slow down with us. And hopefully you left feeling a little lighter and inspired to try something new. Make sure to join us next week for a brand new episode. Thanks for being here with us, Behind the Bloom. Hey, just one more thing. If you love flowers, you've got to check out ubloom.com. It's the online home of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom, where you can stream every episode for free. Plus, you'll find Behind the Bloom videos, my blog, show recipes, and so much more. There's also a massive video archive, over 1,800 how-to videos, flower farm documentaries, and even my very first series, JTV. All Life in Bloom episodes, exclusive web content, and farm documentaries are totally free. Just sign up with your email. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there's a paid subscription option that unlocks the full library of how-to videos. Everything from creating bridal bouquets to centerpieces, corsages, and more. Tons of content to explore. You're gonna love it.